All right. Hey guys, what's up? I'm going to talk about a few things. Actually, this is going to be a pretty uh, extensive video. But all right, so I'm just going to talk about a few things. One of the things is that current plans with Revulsion and everything like that. I'm still working on the level editor, which is actually the base of Revulsion 2, the base infrastructure of Revulsion 2. I think that this is going to be kind of confusing for a lot of people because when I announce that Revulsion 1 has a level editor, it's really going to be the base core foundation that I'm building Revulsion 2 with. So Revulsion 2 progress and Revulsion 1 progress are intertwined in a weird way. So that kind of brings up some stuff that's probably going to be a little bit confusing, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it will be, maybe it won't. Maybe it's not a big deal at all. I'm kind of wondering what other people are going to think as well. Also, you may notice that this video is being posted on YouTube. Well, something very funny happened in the cryptocurrency space. I want to keep, getting more people watching me on, my DTube channel and stuff like that. I want that to be my main place. Well, DTube just recently made a change where it's more cost efficient to just post the video on YouTube and then you can cross post it on DTube. So, as strange as it sounds, using Twitch and using YouTube will garner me more cryptocurrency and maintain my cryptocurrency everything, so all that stuff is actually better. It's actually better right now to just use non-cryptocurrency platforms to keep building up my posting on the actual cryptocurrency platform. It's weird. All right, so that's confusing. Anyway, so whatever. So it looks like I'm back on YouTube again. With that said, so there's a few things that were mentioned, and I wanted to actually ask about something um, regarding Revulsion One. Is would Revulsion One benefit from a sale, making the game cheaper? Bring the price down to just under $10 or something like that. I wonder if that would make a difference. But I don't know actually. I mean, it's possible. So, yeah, I mean, this was brought up. This was brought up. I was actually watching a stream by General Vivi, who who's working on Proteus, and one, we were just chatting while he was working on it and everything like that, and it kind of came up, and it was like, I wonder if that's something I should really consider. I mean, I don't know. I think that the problems with Revulsion really are a little bit. There's a little bit more deep than that, though. Revulsion One has a lot of issues. The main one is that it's not multiplayer, right? The second one is there was no mod support, so there was no reason to keep playing the game. There's no additional content being made by other players, like, right? So once you're finished playing the stuff that I made, then you're just done, right? Lack of multiplayer is also like just massive kick in the you know in the butt regarding any of that, right? So there's quite a few like things like that. A lot of people didn't like the voxel graphics. There's not much I can do about that other than the fact that Revulsion 2 is going away from that entirely. I'm taking Revulsion 2 in the direction of just of a Quake 1 art style that sort of follows closely in the footsteps of Project Warlock, another first-person shooter that has probably my favorite art style to appear in a first-person shooter. I just think the game looks really cool. I might actually stream playing it in the near future, maybe far future, because I'm going to be really busy. So at the moment, right now, I could talk about the development of the Revulsion 2 level editor, which is going to be called the Revulsion 2 SDK for a little while. There's going to be an SDK right here, and then I'll have a number 2 down, sitting right here. Once I get the editor just a little bit further along, where it's possible to actually, um, get in and develop levels for it, save them. I'm very close. Like, there's a few things I need to do. I just need to rework stuff a little bit because I'm restructuring things for it to be more efficient and everything like that. My question though is how confusing is it going to be to people when the Revulsion 2 is being released for free as a level editor for Revulsion 1? Is that going to be really confusing? I don't know. Maybe I need to think about that. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's totally fine. Um, are there going to be people who think that if they buy Revulsion 1, they're just wasting their money, and Revulsion 2, they'll just wait for Revulsion 2 instead? Well, first of all, Revulsion 2 is very early. All right. This right here represents the foundation for the game. The actual game itself will take a while to make. But also, when you buy Revulsion 1, you're helping me make Revulsion 2. So I'm not exactly in a situation where it's like, this is this is a guaranteed thing. I could end up, at any moment, end up in a situation where I absolutely have no choice but to drop the project because I have to do something else. It's entirely possible. It doesn't seem like the case right now, but you don't know how things are going to turn out. So if Revulsion 1 is selling well, then that guarantees that you will get a Revulsion 2. And Revulsion 2 is going to be 100% better than Revulsion 1 across the board. Multiplayer from the start, level editor right part of the fucking game. You could be building maps and people can be fighting monsters in the same level while you're working. People can be testing. You can have it's designed in such a way where um when you set up a server in editor mode, so like we do this, right? If I'm in editor mode, see right now I'm a spectator, right? Whoever the server is, this is something that I'm working on right now. Whoever is the server of the mode can click a little checkbox or has control over who has editing rights. So whoever client zero is has editing rights so that they can assign the ability for people to be able to work on on the level and stuff like that. And people who are just spectating, they can just join the server and they don't have any editing rights, but they can watch people work together, and they can, and then they can use the in-game chat to talk. Let me get back. Why is this being confusing? So like, there's a little chat thingy down here where you can be like, "Hey guys, what's up?" See? And like, so I'm getting all of this foundational stuff in place, which is going to be the core rudiments of it. It's a pretty big change all across the board. And of course, you'll still get a lot of this, the kind of combat, the loot, and all that stuff as well. Like a lot of that stuff's already figured out, so it'll be easier to do a second time, multiplayer or not. Um, so I was actually considering the idea. What if Revulsion 2 was just a giant patch for Revulsion 1? You know what I mean? And I just sort of talk about it that way. That's not a good idea. I think they need to be two different things. Well, why are you working on Revulsion 2 when you could be fixing Revulsion 1? Like I've gotten the Revulsion 1's not even done yet line. Revulsion 1 is done. It's to me, I don't, maybe it doesn't match with the rest of the game industry, but in my personal opinion, it's pretty safe to say that Revulsion 1 is just done. Even if you don't think it's done, maybe there's some buttons that need to have like different graphics or something like that. It's representative of the final product. All right. But I am still working on it technically because by working on Revulsion 2, I'm still working on Revulsion 1. So, okay. I get it though. I mean, fair enough. Like maybe I should be working on Revulsion 1 instead. The problem is that all of the major issues with Revulsion 1 are things I can't fix unless I start over. I need this foundational thing. I need the multiplayer aspect to be at the core design. I need that to be the first part that I get to, everything together with, so that you can actually, you know, build these levels together and be able to, you know, have all that stuff. I wanna have multiplayer deathmatch. I wanna have a team versus team mode. I wanna have like stuff that absolutely literally could not be done with Revulsion 1 to be a big part of Revulsion 2. Like I want Revulsion 2 to actually be an arena shooter. In other words, people jump on servers and we fight each other and all that. I want it. Can't be done with Revulsion 1. I have to start over. I have fought with the idea quite a bit, and I guess I hear people say, well, you should just keep working on Revulsion 1. Yeah, I don't know. I can't do the things I need to do with the same game. However, by making it so that the level editor for Revulsion 2 is backwards compatible with Revulsion 1, then Revulsion 1 can help me develop a better Revulsion 2. So that can even help things even more. Because now I have a foundation for a single player PvE experience that can be developed with the level editor of Revulsion 2. So I don't know. I've been going over a lot of these different ideas and everything like that. Should I lower the price of Revulsion 1? Maybe. Maybe I should just have a sale, or something like that. A lot of people don't seem to think that Revulsion 1 is worth $14.99. But I don't know. I guess I get a lot of people who think it is. So it's also, if you really compare it blow for blow, I know Revulsion 1 doesn't look like it. I know that you might just think it's a crappy game because of the voxel graphics, or that it's. If you actually play it, you'll see. It's not a simple game. It's more complex than Dusk. It's more complex than Strafe. It's a different beast. It's comparable to that of games that are selling. One of them I guess is like selling for $20. Strafe is cheaper than Revulsion though. However, at the moment, that doesn't bode well for my $14.99 price tag. Actually, that could actually be an argument that maybe Revulsion should come down in price if Strafe is cheaper. But okay, with that said, or it's not Strafe, it was Dusk. Or am I thinking of the wrong thing? Well, either way, all right. One of the first-person shooters above that I mentioned is cheaper at the moment, or around the same price. But none of them are below $10. So with that said, I'm not really sure how to move forward as far as explaining or marketing this. I realize that what I'm doing right now is probably going to be confusing. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I want to be forthright about it though. I want everybody who's watching this actually happen to understand why it's happening, so that at least there's some back and forth. I mean, give me your 2 cents, guys. Like, what do you think? Like, Revulsion 2, I personally feel like Revulsion 2 is head on tackling all of the biggest issues that plagued Revulsion 1. Everything except for the marketing. I suck at marketing. Maybe that means I'm still going to be dead in the water. I don't think that's the case though, because at least there will be a core audience who has a reason to keep playing. Now that it's multiplayer, now that it has level editing, now that you can. My plan is to make it so that people can make their own guns. It's not even just part of the crafting system. Like literally, you can make your own guns. You can make varied, variations of existing monsters and stuff like that. Maybe even go as far as allow people to bring in new meshes and change the textures and stuff. Apparently, the Unreal 4 engine supports that. I've been told it does. I'm not 100% sure how far I can take it, but the plan is to go as far as I can. So, with that said, we will have. I'm pretty sure that at least there will be, you know, a big enough audience for me to support myself. Like I've said many times in the past, um, the bar for success is extraordinarily low when you're the only developer on the project. One person, all right? That is a very low. That is a very low bar for success. If I sell one copy a day, I mean, it doesn't sound like very much, but it's not bad. It's actually pretty good. Um, all right. So with that said, Well, I mean, here, let me look over the Discord real quick. So right now you're looking at the spectator mode. The spectator mode, people will be able to join freely while people are working on the map. You'll be able to join as a spectator. Joining as a spectator is the default mode. Whoever is the owner of the server has the power to assign people editing rights. So if you know somebody's just going to troll or somebody's trolling as a level editor and like trying to ruin the map, you can just take away his editing rights and then he can't do anything anymore. Um, Stuff like that. Hopefully the server himself isn't the one doing the trolling. Otherwise, well, at that point, who cares? So people can join in. There's like I want to see like people watching me. Like while I'm in the game making Revulsion 2 maps, I actually want to see people like join, be able to just join me and just float around while you see me a stream, you know, um, of me working on it. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like I just to me that just sounds amazing. Like I'm looking forward to it. All right. So with that said, Revulsion 1 is planned to also get more patch stuff and stuff like that. So I talked a little bit about this on the Discord. Um, Revulsion 1 is planned to get a lot of stuff. New AI. Will you be able to play Revulsion 1 levels in Revulsion 2? And the answer is only the new maps made with the new editor. The new level editor is the only thing that'll determine um, what you can build, what you can play in Revulsion 2. Uh, so I've actually considered making Revulsion 1 a gigantic Revulsion 1 patch. That's not a good idea either. It's kind of a strange situation. Yeah, the sequel makes the most sense. I'm going to talk about this in a video in a sec. So, I don't know. There's a lot of. It's actually kind of hard not to feel a little bit scattered because there are just so many different little topics. But the plan is, overall, right now, my plan is the development of Revulsion 2 will have a trickle down effect on Revulsion 1 while I work on Revulsion 2. That's the plan. Okay? So, a lot of the base foundational features that I'm getting for Revulsion 2 are going to benefit anyone who buys Revulsion 1 right now. Or after the next big patch. Okay? That's the idea. So, there's sort of like it's like a two it's accomplished it's two birds with one stone kind of a situation. Once the foundation for Revulsion 2 is in place enough, I'll begin actually working on Revulsion 2, where it's the actual gameplay, the stats, the monsters, the guns, the art, the and I'm not going to be doing the voxel style artwork this time around. I'm actually going to unwrap and skin. And if you want kind of a preview of the art style that I'm going for, you can. This lacks shading. This is a little bit too early, but you can see it in any of the maps that I have right now. For example, um, just kind of imagine the entire game having sort of this sort of textury feel to it. It's not voxels anymore. It's just sort of pixel art graphic style, and the guns will look that way. They won't look like voxels. They'll look more like textured weapons, kind of like Quake One. Low poly guns, actual guns that actually, and you can see your hands holding them and stuff like that. And I'm going to develop the characters, in this same sort of style. So I'm not doing the voxel thing anymore. A lot of people just absolutely did not like it. It's possible that it would have been fine, maybe, if it had multiplayer and a level editor. But I guess we're gonna find out if, because the level editor at least will be part of will be beneficial to Revulsion 1. Um, and then from there, I'm going to release a patch which is going to include new additional changes to Revulsion 1, balance changes, fixes, things of that nature. And then from there, you'll see maybe it's a sale. I might do like a big sale, like a 50% off sale or something like that. Or I might just lower the price of the game. I don't know. Whatever happens, it's going to happen very soon, though. This isn't going to be something that I'm going to take a very long time. I mean, now I'm on the hook. You just watch the video. Like anyone who's watching this is now going to just be waiting for that, that lower price tag or the sale or whatever. Anything that you guys do, like if anyone who if you're watching this and you just like the direction of Revulsion 2, buying Revulsion 1 is a way to help me develop Revulsion 2. And Revulsion 2 is going to be much better in every way, shape, and form over Revulsion 1. Revulsion 1 was like my first indie game. That's my first indie game where I was a solo developer, right? Now I've learned a lot. I've gone in. I've got a much better foundation. There's all kinds of stuff going on now where I've got the multiplayer stuff, the replication stuff. I'm learning how to develop all of this. I'm streaming it, the development almost every day. And then from there, I'll try my hardest to try and get uh, some kind of marketing. I don't know. Don't miss, stop missing those screenshot Saturdays and things of that nature. Okay, so with that said, I'm gonna go ahead. What are your guys' thoughts? Like, should I just do a sale? Should I just lower the price? How confusing is it going to be that Revulsion 2 is backwards compatible with developing content for Revulsion 1? Like, how does that feel? Does that seem weird, or is it fine? Um, yeah. I mean, that's basically the stuff that's on my mind right now. I'm gonna go ahead and continue developing more Revulsion 2 stuff. I might do an earlier stream today. I stream on D Live. Link is in the description. All right, that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna end the video now. Take it easy, guys, and yeah, like, let me know what you got in mind. Like, things are definitely happening here. There's definitely some interesting stuff happening at this point.